Hello and welcome to day six of uh, my midnight live streams. Recently, I watched a movie that was streamed in YouTube, Scenes from a Situationship by Chalchitra Talks. It's in their channel CCT Originals. You may like to watch it if you haven't watched it till now. After watching this movie, I thought of posting a review. But there was something inside me telling me that this film requires something more than a review. And I decided to pause my temptations for a few days and let me process the experience and come up with something meaningful. First of all, what I liked about this movie was that it was insanely honest, and throughout the movie it felt like this is something happening in real and you are just an audience from some a different universe looking at them. I think that the way it was written was handled very sensitively. Although situation shape might trigger some skepticism for many and may not like to watch it, but I have been following Chalchitra talks for such a long time that I knew that it would be something very special. So I watched this movie. The topic was so difficult that anyone could have gone wrong, and not because of their fault, but it was a difficult topic to handle. But the team managed to handle this topic very well. The reason I am saying this because there are some things that a man is does not understand, not because of his fault, but we are just wired differently and cannot understand the feelings of a woman. Even if we try really hard, okay, trying hard will be a wrong uh, way to put it. But how do I put it? Even if we are very understanding, or I, I might put a true gentleman, but still we are not just wired to think how a woman feels because of many factors, because like societal uh, conditioning, not being around women, not being taught certain things. But this movie was able to bring the perspective of how a woman thinks and what is going inside her mind and how she's struggling to survive in this difficult time. I'm not giving out any spoilers, but they discuss different kinds of things in the movie that as a man sometimes we don't know about women even after being in relationship with 2 to 3 women before, because not everyone tells you freely about those things. If I think of something that the movie could have been presented in a better way, I think that maybe the ending could have changed. It felt like the writers gave a happy ending, but they did not know how to put things into that, and they just gave the happy ending that everyone is conditioned to think about. I feel that there could have been a happy ending which had a tragic part as well. For example, this movie ended that the female protagonist finally accepted that she is also in love and she wants to get into a relationship from situationship. I feel that it could have been changed as that the female protagonist accepting that she is also in love, but she is not yet ready to get into a relationship because and she should not say that explicitly as well. Just say that even I love you, but I think that you deserve someone better, and just leave it open ended. This is the only, but it is the creative freedom of the makers that they chose to do that. I'm not suggesting that they change the ending, uh, but I still would like to give this movie 5 stars because the way it was shot, the sequencing of the scenes, everything. Technically, also it was good, and thus it just moved me. So, if you have not watched this movie, go and watch this movie. I strongly recommend everyone to watch this movie and live the life with them. And since we are talking about relationships and uh, other things as well, so today I be speaking about relationships as well. Relationships in my life. So I have been single for God knows how long, like perhaps more than a decade now. And many people ask me, why don't I get married? So I often avoid answering this question because I'm not sure if anyone will understand why I don't get along with people. I, I'm not saying that I don't get along with people, but due to some reason, I could not get to a point that I feel that I should marry a person. Not that I have not tried, but I have met many people. I even tried matrimonial websites. I met through common friends, but for some reason or other, I never could take the step towards marriage. And after a certain age, you don't even get into casual relationships as well. So I'm single for that reason. And not that I don't want to get into casual relationships as well. I'm in Tinder as well. Yeah. And I do get matches occasionally. And I have even exchanged numbers with it when, uh, but for some reason, I could never take it to the next level. You must have also met many people who are not married uh, and they are in their late 30s, late 40s, or someone in 50s as well. It's not that they have never tried getting married or they have not found anyone. And so they could not find anyone. They did find people. Let me not talk about others. Let me speak for me. I did find few people. Some of them were just casual, and some of them were slightly bit serious. But and I even had relationships, but, and some of them were even like had uh, relationships of like 4 to 5 years. Like, but even after that, I just was never able to make myself prepare to take that extra step. There are many reasons for that. that I always wanted to get financially stable before I could take this step. But that is not the only reason. How do I take? It's very difficult to talk about it. When you're young and you think of getting into relationship with others, someone else, you know that you can do many things, and at that time you look for perfection. But as you grow older, you don't look for perfection, but you look for reciprocation. As a person, when I talk to people, I am honest to them. I am able to open up to them about things that I have kept as a secret from even the most close friends and my family. But I have not met anyone who had their own struggles in their life, who opened up in front of me as I opened up in front of them. I don't blame them, but perhaps there was something that I lacked, and I did not understand their feelings and could not get that out of them. I remember a Urdu sher. I don't remember the poet's name, Yeah, he is from Pakistan. You can Google it. It's YouTube. This it goes like that. हमेशा देर कर देता हूँ मैं किसी को ढाढ़स बंधा की जब बात आती है मैं वो ना करके जब करने जाता हूँ हमेशा देर कर देता हूँ मैं I don't remember the words exactly, but what it means is that I am often late in understanding things. By the time I understand those things, it's already late. And when it is late, you can do anything about it. The time has passed. The time that was so precious that I lost. Money, if lost, you can get back. But time is not like that. If it is lost, it is lost. That precious time gave me not one, not two, but many opportunities to understand that person. But I failed to do that. And that is the reason I could never understand the feelings of the other person. And it did not happen once. It happened in every relationship that I was in. One of my friend, close friend, who is a girl, I was not in a, she calls me like a brother from another mother. I she tells me that I have a habit to build great relationship and then destroy it forever. And it is not just with romantic relationships, but in every relationship. It's just that I'm lucky that my friends are still with me. Friends are like that only. They say mean things to make you a better person. And when she said it, I started thinking about what can I do to improve this. And I have been trying to understand feelings from her. about different people after she said this. And but I have never been in a romantic uh, relationship after that. I'm not saying this so that you pity me, but this is the truth of the matter. In one of my previous live sessions, I mentioned about one thing. I gave just a hint about this as well, as I said that love is dialogical in nature, and it does not have to be a romantic relationship. It can be a relationship with your sibling, with your parents, with your friends, any relationship to flourish. It to have that dialogue, that constant dialogue, to understand each other, so that we make compromises, small compromises, and get into a com- common ground. Well, compromise to many people is a negative word, but I am saying compromise, not being able to find a better word. Uh, I would say that it's a kind of when two people come together, something changes and it is completely nature. Even if we are working in an office and a new colleague joins, that person with their ideas and the way they think, that person changes something in us. Similarly, we change something to that person. So every relationship brings a change to us, and in a romantic relation, this thing matters a lot because if one person is giving more but receiving very less, that relationship does not last. In my case, it happened that I was receiving and receiving and receiving, but I was not able to give a, that even a tiny bit of what I was receiving because I was blinded to many things because of the constant receiving of good things in my life that I forgot about what could have been going inside the other person's life. Everyone has their own struggles. Just because I am more vocal about my struggles in a romantic relationship. I was able to get rid of my issues by talking to someone, and I have been very lucky that they were good listeners. But it also means that they did not get the opportunity to speak. So if you meet someone who is not yet married in late 30s or late 40s, try to empathize with them because it's not that they did not try, but something deep inside that just changed them in a drastic way that they just are unable to get along with other people because their expectations are very high. And not just that, they also want to give a lot more in order to make this relationship work. And if they don't feel that the other person can handle this, they just back. At least in my case, it happened like that. If I feel that how I feel might overwhelm the other person, I just back off from that and don't try to take that relationship further. If you also are someone who is single, please share your thoughts with me and how you are trying to navigate this situation. And if you feel that you are getting stressed because you are losing time for getting married, don't get stressed about it as well. Just think that you will not compromise on your values just to get married for the namesake. you will also find that partner if marriage is really part of your destiny. And before I sign up, I'd just like to recommend once again that you watch the movie Scenes from a Situationship. It is a movie that has been well made. It is very sensitive. It is handled very maturely. They discuss certain things that were not spoken, at least in a public forum before. And I really thank the Chalchitra Talks team to create something as beautiful as that. Yeah, that's it from me tonight. Thank you. Thank you for watching this. If you are still watching this, and I also like to thank Chelsea, the talks team, to not just mm, creating great content in the movie, but also for inspiring someone like me to come and talk about my most vulnerable part of my life. So thank you once again. Okay, good night. I will come again tomorrow. And uh, if you like what I am posting, do like, share it with your friends. And if you like to keep uh, uh, getting updates about my uh, live streams and other content, do subscribe to me. I also speak about different topics. I have a poetry podcast as well, and sometimes I talk about books as well. And if I like it as something about something else, maybe a movie and or something that I so recently I talked about those things as well. Although I post sporadically uh, about other topics, but do subscribe. I will try to share more with all of you and create some meaningful